The Grandy Man tomorrow, if that's official, that he will actually break out the Grandy Man can.
Oh.
You can't grandle the truth.
You know, there's a lot of this stuff going on out there in the media that basically says the whole A-Rod thing is a major negative for the Yankees.
Excuse me?
A lot of people say, they would love to have a third baseman that could hit and have a guy in that lineup.
What part of it's a negative?
Well, that he's not going to be able to play anymore.
Of course it's a negative.
Right, well, not in the eyes of Buck Showalter.
Ding dong! Who is it? Really? Buck Showalter!
What did Buck Showalter say?
Well, he basically said if Bud, meaning Bud Selig, there you go, lets them get away with what's going on right now, they'll be under the luxury tax. And
we're talking about, he's suggesting that the Yankees are in cahoots with MLB, that suspending A-Rod is being done to help the Yankees get under the tax.
Right, and this is why he's worried about it. If they can reset, then they can spend again. And I guarantee you, in 2 years, Matt Wieters will be in New York.
Come on.
That's Buck Showalter.
Ding dong!
That's why I love Buck Showalter, because he can see the future. He can see what's happening. It's not just like what happens right in front of his face. He's looking at big picture stuff.
Yeah, he has such an insecurity about the New York Yankees. Worry about getting a team into the playoffs and then the World Series, Buck, and stop worrying about the New York Yankees.
Getting Rodriguez's $25 million salary off the 2014 books would be effectively reset the Yankees' payroll, projected to exceed $189 million, and that would obviously exceed the luxury tax threshold. Let's say if they're freed up from the $86 million owed Rodriguez from 2014 to 17, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, then Showalter fears that zeal to ban Rodriguez might turn the Yankees into free agent predators.
I mean,
again.
come on. But really, Buck Showalter? And by the way, Buck Showalter.
The Yankees would, develop some of their own players.
Why would it be nice? How about they have a system of winning? And Buck Showalter's bitter and holds the Yankees accountable for him being fired and letting Joe Torre become a Hall of Fame manager, and rightfully so.
Okay.
But at some point, you got to drop it. He has such an insecurity about the Yankees. And I'll ask Buck Showalter this, since no one else has the stones to ask him. You're talking about Alex Rodriguez, right? Was Buck Showalter not the manager of the Texas Rangers when a man named Alex Rodriguez was playing for him and using steroids?
Yeah, but he's not talking about that.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's not talking about that.
You have nothing to say about that, do you, Buck?
He's not talking about that. He's talking
Of course he's not talking about that.
He's talking about the collateral damage that he believes will...
to whom? To him?
Well,
they're going to go out and spend everybody and go sign everybody.
Okay, except if you do basic mathematics, Boomer, right? Shedding A-Rod's salary alone is not going to put the Yankees at $110 million and give them $80 million to spend.
Kind of interesting. 2 years from now, no Mariano, no Mariano, no A-Rod,
no Jeter,
That's a lot of money.
So here's what's funny. So when the Yankees pay guys $20 million a year, they're paying guys too much money. They're blah 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 blah. They have blah 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 blah. Right?
Right.
When those guys then,
what's that mean?
When all you nonsensical idiots come out with the old buying championships, the Yankees blank check, they're playing on a different platform, and then when those guys retire and those overpaid veterans, their number comes off the cap. Oh, that's not fair either. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. There's a jealousy and an insecurity about my beloved New York Yankees.
I think it's Buck Showalter being Buck Showalter, always thinking about the best interests of baseball.
Well, then why did he employ Alex Rodriguez under steroids in 03?
He had nothing to do with that.
He was his manager.
And he does not want to get into the suspension of Alex Rodriguez. He's just saying the collateral damage of the suspension of Alex Rodriguez could turn the Yankees into free agent predators once again.
Is that right? Is that right? But so he doesn't want to talk about A-Rod doing steroids when he was his manager, but he can talk about A-Rod playing for the Yankees, right? Right or wrong? Right or wrong, my friend?
Listen, whatever you want to talk about.
A-Rod, in 2003, A-Rod batted .298, had 118 RBIs, 47 home runs, and 181 hits and 124 runs. But Buck Showalter didn't notice the pimples on his ass. Come on.
I hope not.
Because it wasn't convenient for Buck Showalter.
Pimples on his ass is not convenient.
Yeah, let me follow him into the shower.
Right. You know what? You hit 47 home runs, and I'll pretend you're not doing steroids. But as soon as you're a New York Yankee, since I've got a thing for the Yankees, then I'll start chirping. Chirp, 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 chirp. You'll outstay your welcome in Baltimore like you have everywhere else.
Bottom line, he's got a point.
No, he doesn't have a point.
Yeah, he does.
How can you be critical of the Yankees when they spend all that money and be critical of the Yankees when that money comes off the cap?
Why is it being critical as much as it is? It's a fact. They're going to have more money to spend, which is good for them.
Why do people like you sit there and argue the facts? I mean, they're facts.
He's being critical.
But he's not.
You know why? Because Buck Showalter, and I'll say it, we call it where I come from, is a WLB. A whiny little bitch. That's what he is.
He's just basically pointing out the facts. That's all there is to it.
That's right.
The facts.
Everyone's in cahoots against him.
Just the facts. That's
MLB is concerned.
Why do you argue facts? He's basically stating a truth.
He didn't say it's not fair.
He's accusing the Yankees 2-3 years from now of being predators. He's predicting the future now.
He's saying they're going to go snap up big-name free agents again.
That's not their right.
There's nothing wrong with that,
Well,
but that is a fact of what will happen.
It is a fact of what will happen.
If they have money, they'll spend it. That's all. And that's a bad thing for the rest of baseball.
And then you cloud the argument by putting in your own little digs towards Buck Showalter, and you try to insult the man.
Because it's coming from a position of jealousy.
And I don't know why you insult a man who's got a track record of success.
It depends how you define success.
Hope it's not World Series with titles.
How long has he been a part of Major League Baseball?
A very long time.
That's success. That's a successful man. I'm sorry. Would you consider Bobby Valentine a successful baseball man?
Art Howe was around a long time, too.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, but would you consider him a baseball player? He played and managed.
Didn't go well for the Mets.
I'm not. Yeah, okay. So it didn't go well for the Mets, but that doesn't mean they weren't successful in their overall big picture of their baseball careers.
Yep.
God, jeez.
He's a jealous, insecure, whiny little bitch.
No, he's not.
That's what he is. Oh, it's not going to be fair. The Yankees are going to spend more money.
Maybe he's...
Aren't they allowed to?
Maybe he's speaking for the far majority of teams and fans out there.
Okay, I'd say this. That
so therefore he isn't a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, I would say this. That every one of those teams that agrees with Buck Showalter, when you get that check from the New York Yankees for being over the luxury tax, give it back. Because everyone that bitches about the Yankees spending money... it becomes a benefactor of them spending that kind of money.
Right.
So how do you want it? Which game do you want to play?
Whiny biatch. Thank you. That's what you are.
No.
You sound like a whiny biatch every morning.
If you just come out clean, be honest, you hate the Yankees.
I don't hate the Yankees.
I'm talking about Buck Showalter.
Well, he might. Yeah,
he might.
He hates him. He has every right to dislike him. But to say it's not going to be fair 2 years from now because the Yankees are going to spend money, go to your owner, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, owner, spend more money."
You know what? Here's the deal.
What?
I understand what he's saying. He's basically saying that the Yankees use everybody else for their minor league system. This is how they build their team. This is how they put their team together, which is fine. I get that. Mm-hmm. But I can understand the frustration that he would have, and I can understand why he would be saying what he is saying.
Yeah, because he can't beat the Yankees. How about that? The Yankees cut him. They fired him right before he had things cooking. He's bitter about that, as he should be. I got no problem with that. But at some point, you're a grown man. Move along.
Whiny biatch. Who has the better record right now between the Yankees and the Orioles?
Does the season end today?
No, it does not.
You always have something.
There's
always something. Why can't you just say, you know what? He's right, because it is factual. What he is saying is right.
I disagree. Why doesn't he go knock on his owner's door and say, Mr. Owner, spend more money?
How
about that?
It's going to rain around noon today.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Is it going to rain around noon?
Yes.
Rain what?
It's going to rain.
Yeah?
Yes.
I am going
to rain down you like a spider monkey.